Good evening, and welcome to Election Night in Pennsylvania 2022. On this historic night, the Democratic and Republican parties will be fighting for the state's Senate seat, the state's governor's seat, and the state's House seats. Let's look at some polling. In the Senate election, we have Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman versus Dr. Oz. Fetterman leads in the Senate polls by about 1.4%. That is his margin. As of right now, Fetterman does lead in the race. He is expected to win this race, but by a very narrow margin. In the gubernatorial polling, Josh Shapiro leads in this race as well. He leads over Doug Mastriano, who is closely aligned with Donald Trump. Josh Shapiro leads by 8 percentage points. And now let's look at some House polling. Again, these are just polls. These are not the results, obviously. In District 1, the Republican is leading by 7. In District 2, the Democrat is leading by 49. In 3, the Democrat is leading by 18. In 4, the Democrat is leading by 14. In 5, the Democrat is leading by 13. In 6, the Democrat is leading by 9. In District 7, the Republican is leading by 0.1. This is a toss-up race. In 8, the Democrat is winning by 1. In 9, the Republican is leading by 40. In 10, the Republican is leading by 8. In 11, the Republican is winning by 19. And in 12, the Democrat is leading by 9. And in 13, the Republican is leading by 51. In 14, the Republican is leading by 20. In 15, the Republican is leading by 38. In 16, the Republican is leading by 16. And in 17, we have another really much a toss-up race. The Democrat is leading by 0.2. And the polls have now closed. Let's look at some of these results. This is a key race alert, folks. The Senate race is too early to call. We have too few votes in to project a winner. However, John Fetterman does have an early lead with 72% right off the bat. And in the gubernatorial election, again, this is not polling anymore, Doug Mastriano actually has a wide lead of about 16%, but again, of course, it is too early to call at this point in time. In the House elections, we can project that District 2 and 3 will go to the Democrat. If you see a check mark and blue behind it, then that means that a Democrat is the projected winner, but if you see a red background and a check mark, then that means that the Republican is the projected winner. If it's gray, it has not been called. And forgot to change the numbers to gray. But anyway, in District 9, the Republican is the projected winner. In District 11, the Republican is the projected winner. In District 13, the Republican is the projected winner. And in 14, 15, and 16, they are projected winners. District 10, 12, and 17 are still too close to call. And now let's look back at Senate. We can still not call it. However, John Fetterman has hung on to his lead. It is still too early to call. John Fetterman, I think, has expanded his lead by 14 percentage points. And this is the current county map of the Senate race. We see, the same numbers, and we see John Fetterman doing well in Philadelphia, and we see Dr. Oz doing very well near the New Jersey coast. But of course, because he is from New Jersey, this will be where he does better, and that will hurt John Fetterman later in the race. But this is a very unrealistic map right now. I mean, we still have very few votes. I mean, some of these Democratic districts will certainly not go Democratic, I assure you. Now let's look at the governor's election. It is still too early to call, but Josh Shapiro has actually expanded his lead. It shrunk. Well, it shrunk big time. He now has a lead of only 4%. And let's look at this county map. This county map is not looking realistic at all. This will change a lot. All that blue on the eastern side will not be blue anymore. That will go to Doug Mastriano. And District 4 has been called for the Democratic Party, and District 5 has been called. 1, 6, 7, and 8 are still yet to be called. And we have no new updates in these House elections. 10, 12, and 17 are still yet to be called. And in the Senate election, it is still too early to call. This is an update. John Fetterman has hung on to his lead. He now has a lead of 8 percentage points. This is a good lead for John Fetterman, but he definitely this definitely will be a close race. This map is still very unrealistic. John Fetterman again with 54%. And in the governor's election, it's still too early to call. Josh Shapiro has expanded his lead by 2 percentage points. He now has 53% to Mastriano's 47%. And this map is looking pretty realistic for the most part. We see it more red in the rural areas for Mastriano. And in the House elections, I believe District 6 has been called for the Democratic Party, but I could be wrong. 1, 7, and 8 are still yet to be called. And District 12 has been called for the Democratic Party in these House elections, but 10 and 17 are yet to be called. And in the Senate election, we have another update. It is still too early to call. John Fetterman still has a lead of 4%, and this map is looking much more realistic on the coast with New Jersey. John Fetterman is picking up a lot of votes. He's winning most of these counties, and we see him winning Philadelphia County, of course, and Allegheny County, which he really needs, and Huron. I think it's Huron County, up in the northwest of the state. And in the governor's election, we have another update. It is too early to call. I believe Shapiro has he still has a lead of 8 percentage points. 8%. And look at this map. Josh Shapiro is doing extremely well in the Northeast, where we saw Doug Mastriano fail in the Republican primary. This was the only region where Lou Barletta, his opponent, did well. It was in the northeastern part of the state, and these Republicans are turning out for Josh Shapiro. It is very obvious. Josh Shapiro is dominating there. And let's look at the House elections. District 1 has been called for the Republican. Besides that, no new changes. 7 and 8 are still yet to be called. And District 10 has been called for the Republican candidate. That gives them one more seat, and therefore District 17 is the only one yet to be called on that slide. And an update on the Senate election, it is still too early to call. Wow, look at that. It's actually too close to call, we should say. John Fetterman still has a lead of 6 points. This is the map looking pretty realistic. Again, a 6-point lead. And we have a major projection, everyone. Josh Shapiro is the projected winner of the governorship of Pennsylvania. This is a huge, huge call, and he is the projected winner. Josh Shapiro will win this race. The race has been called. He will beat Doug Mastriano by 6 percentage points. Wow, this is a huge win for him. This is a likely margin win. Would you look at that? Wow. Josh Shapiro again 53% to Mastriano's 47%. And this is the final map. We see Doug Mastriano winning 2 more counties in that northeastern part of the state. But ultimately, it will not be enough to match Josh Shapiro's dominating win. He does well in a lot. Oh, Erie County in that northwestern county, Erie County. Josh Shapiro will carry in. That gives him the win. And in our House elections, no new races have been called on this slide. District 8 is yet to be called. And we can project that District 17 will go to the Democrat. Wow, this was the one that was, the polling was a 0.2% difference. So this is a huge win for the Democrats. They will win District 17. And in the Senate, it is too close to call once again. This is a big update. John Fetterman has hung on to his lead. It is now at 4%. This is the map right now. It's about the same as it was before. And in our House elections, we can now project that, what was the final? District 8 will go to the Republican candidate. The Republicans have been a Democratic incumbent. They will win this district, and we called all the House elections earlier. And we have a major projection, everyone. We can now project that John Fetterman will win the Senate seat in Pennsylvania. He is the winner of this election. He will beat Dr. Oz by 2%. This race has been called. And this map, would you look at this map? He has dominated on the eastern side of, or not on the eastern side, but on the eastern border of Pennsylvania, and he has won Erie County, just like Josh Shapiro. He has won Allegheny County, and he has won this race. This is a huge call. So thank you all for watching, everyone. In hindsight, I'm also going to put this in the comments, but in hindsight, I would make a 4% win by Josh Shapiro instead of a 6%. That's pretty unrealistic. I didn't even realize I did that, but I just went with it. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you later.